County High School Warrior Marching Band and alumni.
Where am I plugging this in? I don't know where I'm plugging this in. Alrighty, and we are back for your halftime show here. We only have a couple of minutes because we were infatuated by that White County band. Oh my goodness, were they good. But looking at the football game, it's not so good for White County.
Their band was great, but their performance in the field has not been great. Upperman has dominated this game tonight. It's been rough for these White County fans on their homecoming night.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, I feel like scheduling the #1 team in the state for your homecoming game isn't always the best choice, but 35-0 later, I think they got the memo now. Upperman started off with the ball, and they've scored on every single drive. They have not missed a single one. They have scored continuously. They've now forced 3 turnovers on 3 consecutive drives for White County. And they're looking like they're in the driver's seat, and it's Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious just going off into the sunset.
Right, we can't say this game's over yet because it's not. We still got 2 quarters to play, but
Absolutely
man,
not.
it sure looks like it's in Upperman's favor right now. I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and say that the bench players will be in for Upperman the second string. I think the starters will be there. I think the starters will start in the second half. We'll see how it goes, but I mean, this is not a Livingston. This is a good football team. And
This is a team that was in a 7-point game against 6A Cookeville.
right, and Cookville's a very talented team, and this White County is a very talented team. So we'll see how it goes.
I mean, to be fair, it's hard to say that White County can come back at this point just due to the fact this game is going to be a running clock. And not only has Upperman been perfect tonight, 5 for 5 on drives, every 5 being a touchdown, Bronson Chaffin's been pretty much perfect tonight. He's only missed 1 throw, I believe. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns, and then Carmine Phillips and Ethan Polk have both ran for 1 each. And it's looking like they're going to continue that dominance. I could see the starters staying out there for another 1 to 2 series, but after that, it probably will be time to pull the starters and just, for both teams, put in the backups.
Right, White County needs to score fast if they want to get in this game. They got to execute their game plan perfectly in the second half if they want to get back in this game.
You know, you look at the upcoming schedule for the Bees on top of this game, this was deemed the second hardest game in their schedule just due to how much hype was coming around this White County team. But now they're going to have Cumberland County at home, Smith County at home, White House at home, and then Stone Memorial and DeKalb the last 2 weeks away. It's very much looking like they could repeat and go 10-0 once
We'd also
again.
like to thank our Jumbotron sponsors, the Del Toro family of businesses, Kyle Frazier Tree Works, Excavation Services, and
Now we
Elevate
should
Fitness.
be getting back
Brothers, Luke
from
Florida.
halftime here in a
Ben
few
Rowland.
seconds. The
TriStar
Bees
Beverage.
should be kicking off to the Warriors, and it's going to be 35-0 to start the half. Not good. So far, who would you say that your impact players are?
Impact players, Bronson Chaffin, obviously, Theo Brown, Carmine, just the people we've talked about all season pretty much. They've been the impact players.
Hey, consistency is key, and that is preached at Upperman.
Right, and I would also say Trip Pinion has been an impact player, but not in a great way. 2 interceptions has really impacted the score of this game. You take those away, and you say, take those and put them for White County's touchdowns. 14, take 14 points off 35. Upperman has it be 21-14 right now. Very close game, but his interceptions have really impacted the way this game is looking right now.
Although at the same time, he's really been one of the main key features and one of the few reasons that White County's been able to even get first downs tonight. But obviously, if you give White County 14 points, that's assuming that Upperman doesn't score on the next drives. But honestly, it still probably would have been a blowout.
I would agree. Trent Pinion is a great player, best player on White County, and he's an impact player, man. He is so quick. Makes the throws. One of the interceptions was a lucky play, I would say, on the tip.
Yeah, absolutely. But the second one, you can't really even blame him for it. Branson Turnbow read that like a book meant for children. It was instant he was at that ball. So, obviously, Upperman currently is #1 in their region, #1 in the state. After tonight, they're going to be 3-0 in their region, going into next week looking to be 4-0. And the next, I think, 2 games after that are going to be out-of-region games, and then they finish it off with another 2 region games. So, how do you feel that they spread out their region games? They have 3 in a row here, or no, I think they've had 4 in a row, have they not?
Yeah, I think they have.
Yeah, so they're going to have 4 in a row and then 2 at the end of the season. How do you think that affects the team, splitting those games up like that?
It's hard for me to tell really how it affects the team, but I would say it's kind of good to spread them out, because if you have 6 straight region games, you're going to be really stressed out, because those are your most important games all season.
Yeah, those are the games where people are going to play the hardest against you, especially DeKalb County. I mean, it feels like no matter what the situation is, outside of that 2021 playoff matchup, DeKalb County's played this Upperman team really hard, even when they're only 4 or 5 win team.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see how the second half goes. We're going to have a running clock, about 30 more seconds until we see kickoff.
It's back to keep them shutting down again.
Upperman getting ready to line up the kick. White County is going to have their main guy, Darvon Richmond, to receive it once again. But it feels like every single time this ball is kicked off, it's going to Cole Sims. And every time, it is landing at that 20-yard marker. And Austin Roberts has been very precise with where he puts that ball.
Yeah, he's been putting it in the corners a lot, forcing them to come in the middle with the pressure, and great defense of return by the so far.
Absolutely. Roberts is going to kick this ball off. It's going to be in the middle of to the right side of the field this time. And it's going to be a good return there. He's got some blockers, and he's got some open space. Gunner block is going to bring him down, though. And that's going to get him to the 46-yard line. And that is the best field position White County's had all night. I know I said that last time, but this time it's really true.
I mean, if Gunner would not have made that great tackle right there, he could have gone to the house. He had the edge. Gunner just held onto his legs and he tripped him up. Good play by Gunner.
I mean, Gunner's such a tough player. I mean, you look at the kid when you're the opposing team. You see a kid who's 5'4", 125 pounds. You're not intimidated, but then he hits you and you're like, wait, what just happened? Pinion's going to be in the backfield. Clock is running due to it being a 35-point game. It's going to be motioned by Richmond. The ball is going to go to him. He's got the edge. He's got some space. He's going to get pushed out of bounds by Theo Brown after a gain of 4. And it seems like White County is going to start with some spread outside speed.
Gain of 4 on the
Yeah, I
play.
mean, Upperman ran on the
Warriors.
outside the entire
At the
first half, and
50-yard
it worked really well for them. For Sparta, why not try it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the outside of the Bees roster, it's no slouch, but I mean, it's still, I'd argue, weaker than running into the inside of this Bees defense. Motion to the left this time. The ball is going to be going to the motion man. It's going to be number 5 or number 6 there. I can't tell. He's going to be shoved out of bounds at the 40. It's going to be a first down for Sparta. And that was number 5, Demarius Dowell. Great play there by the senior.
Demarius Dowell on the carry. Tackled by Branson Turnbow.
White County is driving in
That
just
gain
2
is
plays
enough for a
there in
Warrior.
Upperman
First
territory,
down.
looking to
And
score for the first time
First
tonight.
down, sponsored this quarter by Elevate Fitness.
Pinion's going to have 3 receivers out to his right, 1 to his left. Impressive on the ground today, not so much in the air. It's going to go to the motion man, Richmond. Richmond's going to keep the ball. He's got space. He's cutting to the outside, juking back in. He's going to get tackled by Theo Brown after a gain of 7 or 8. And this White County offense is alive.
Brown.
I mean, both plays they've handed it to the outside. Quarterback Trip Pinion has been hit by this Upperman defense, so good decisions to hand it off right there and get it to the outside and get some more extra yards.
Gain of 7
Seems
on
like
the
White
play.
County's moving as
Second
fast
down,
as they
Warriors.
can on the ground to make this running clock stop so that they have a chance to keep scoring in this game. But it's looked completely different. If you look at the first half, Trip Pinion was throwing the ball almost every play of every drive. Now they're running it a lot more with a lot of motion. There's motion again. Pinion keeps the ball this time. He's got the edge. He makes a man miss, and he is going to be taken out of bounds by Elijah Fitz after I believe he's going to get the first down.
Trip Pinion on the carry. Chased out of bounds by
Trip is a
Elijah
really
Fitz.
elusive runner. When you get him to the outside, he's a very dangerous player, but good play
Brings
by
up
Fitz
second.
right there.
Is going to be
Third and
short by a
third.
yard, so it's going to be
And
3rd
1 for
down
the
and
Warriors.
short for the Warriors. They've been in this situation a few times tonight. Let's see how they can respond. Using a lot of motion to get to the outside of this Upperman defense, and it's been very successful so far. Great way to start the half for the White County offense. Pinion's got 3 to his left, 1 to his right. Looks like there's, nope, never mind, there's motion. And the motion man's going to get the ball. He's going to have a first down, I believe. He's going to get wrapped by Carmine Phillips. Did he get there? And that is 4th down as the
Demarius
Upperman
Dowell
Bees
on
hold
the
strong
carry.
that time. They knew who had the
Tackled by
ball.
Carmine Phillips.
And now it's a decision. Do
Loss
you
of
go
1
for
on the
4th and
play.
1?
Brings up 4th
Yes.
down
Yes,
for the
they're
Yes,
going to
you
go
do.
for 4th and 1. I mean, earlier in the game, remember when they went for 4th and 1, and we appear to not think they got the first down,
But they did.
but they did.
Now, this time, are they going to keep trying to get it to the outside, or are they going to try and trick the Upperman defense and run it up the middle? Pinion is going to take the snap. It's going to be a normal throw. He's going to take it for himself. He's going to get hit. He might not get this first down. Let's see where they mark him. Upperman thinks they're going to get the ball. I think he may have gotten the first down.
See
Pinion on the
that
carry.
little extra push at the end of him falling.
Nope, Upperman's going to get the ball, and White County's efforts to take this running clock off are going to fail, as that is a turnover on downs inside Upperman territory.
At the 32-yard line.
Upperman can really drain this clock right now. They have the running clock. The clock is still running. We've already got almost 5 minutes out of this 3rd quarter. It's flying by with Upperman in full control of this game.
You know, that's what happens when you have the running clock. I mean, honestly, it's one of the high school rules that I appreciate the most because it makes games like these hurt a little less to watch. Chaffin's going to have 1 out to each side. He's going to have a fullback and a running back with him. He's going to hand it off to Paulk. Paulk's going to hit up the middle. He's going to make a few men drag him forward, and it's going to be about a gain of 4 there. And at this point, I think the Bees fans are starting to say, hey, did we ruin your homecoming?
It's interesting why they would schedule their homecoming against the number
Gain of
1
4
ranked
on the
4A
play.
team in the state of
Second down,
Tennessee.
Bees.
You know, if you think about it, it's a very big thing for pride. You know, if you beat a team like Upperman at homecoming, that's a major morale boost for your team, especially when your team's 3-1 going into the game. Chaffin's going to have 2 out to his left, Elijah Fitz and Branson Turnbow. He's going to take the snap. He's going to keep it for himself. He's going to make a man miss. He's going to plow some people forward. but he's going to get stopped after a gain of 2 or 3.
Chaffin on the carry.
Upperman's going to be switching to just running the ball, I guess. They don't want to take any risk of stopping the clock, even though it won't happen, I guess.
For Upperman. Defensive third down sponsor tonight by Connor
It'll be
Brothers.
third down
Luke
and
Lauren.
3 at the 39-yard line. Upperman picks this up. I think this drive's going to go into the fourth quarter. Already only 5.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. It's crazy how fast it flies by with the running clock. Chaffin's going to take the snap. He's going to keep it for himself. He's going to find a lane. He's going to get hit instantly, and he's not going to be able to get the first down, and that's going to bring up 4th and short for the Bees. Now here's a big question. Do you go for it on 4th down and try and just pretty much put this game away permanently and risk potentially giving White County the ball? It looks like that is what they're going to do. To get 3 yards on this play, didn't gain anything on the last run from Chaffin. One receiver out to each side, Polk to his right hip. Clock is ticking down, only 5 seconds remaining. And Chaffin's gonna get the snap off just in time. He's gonna keep it for himself. He's gonna plow some people over, and he's gonna have the first down. There's flags on the play, though. That was a strong run from Upperman. See what this flag's all about.
I mean, you know these White County football players are not happy right now. This homecoming night, you're down 35-0.
And it is going to be unnecessary roughness on the Warriors. Possibly some extracurricular hits there after Chaffin's momentum had been stopped. Now the Bees not only get the first down there after a strong run from Chaffin, but they also tack on another 15 yards, bringing them into White County territory. And Sparta's going to take a timeout.
Field for the Warriors. That's their first timeout of the half.
So, I mean, 3:35 left in the third quarter. That was probably the fastest 8.5 minutes of football I think I have ever watched. White County was once again getting momentum on offense, and then Upperman forces another turnover. I believe that is the 4th drive in a row now where Sparta has been doing good and then turning the ball over.
I mean, when you have the momentum and you're driving down the field, you can't have these turnovers because they're gonna take the momentum right out of your drive, and Sparta's gonna feel crushed right now because, man, they could be in this game right now and they know it, but they're not in it.
The thing is, White County still has some more divisional games coming up. They still haven't played Macon County. And Macon County is pretty much just as good as Upperman is on paper and on the field. We saw how close that matchup was, although Upperman was kind of shooting themselves in the foot, but both teams really were. So it'll be interesting to see how White County is going to go up against that defense as well and have to deal with the Border Brothers.
Is it at Macon County or is it here?
I'm not too sure. Let me look at that up real quick while the players are getting set.
Because obviously wherever the game is at, it's going to have a huge impact on the game.
Really is. Because if it's here at White County, it could definitely be a lot closer, especially if White County cuts out on the turnovers. But if it's at Macon, that's going to be a really loud environment to try and deal with. The game is going to be home next week. Chaffin's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Polk. Polk's going to get hit right at the line, and he's not going to be able to gain anything, if maybe not 1 yard.
So White County plays next week, home against Macon County.
Home against Macon County. That is for even home games, that is probably the toughest stretch in 4A football. They went from Cookeville to Stone Memorial, then had Upperman and Macon County at home in succeeding weeks. That is very tough to deal with. Chaffin's going to be in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left. He's going to fake the handoff to Polk, hit Turnbow outside. Turnbow's going to force a man forward and gain about 5 or 6 yards there on the pass.
Chapman's pass complete to Branson Turnbow.
I mean, you look at the rest of this White County schedule, there's a ton of winnable games in there. Like, there's in no way possible that they would lose the rest of their games. They got Cumberland County, they got Livingston, they got DeKalb. DeKalb could be a really good game. Obviously, DeKalb's been very strong this year. I'm not sure if they have actually lost yet.
You know, it may not look like it right now, but White County is a good football team. And they have a bright year ahead of them. You know, they're still, I believe, going to be a winning football team. So you got to keep your heads high. You got to keep your heads high after playing.
Polk's going to take the snap. Yo, Polk is going to find a major hole. Ethan Polk breaking tackles, and he's going to be inside of the 5-yard line. Oh, my goodness. I could barely, I had to cut you off there, but Ethan Polk instantly hit that hole. Oh, my goodness. That's probably his best or second best run of the night now, as he's finally getting some ground to run on. Even though, I mean, it seems like every week we say, wow, if Polk's struggling, he's getting hit right at the line. He still ends up with 100 yards every game. It's so tough to stop the kid.
I would say he has, maybe not 100, but I'd say he's having a pretty good game.
Definitely. I mean, he's got 2 touchdowns, one in the air, one on the ground. Chaffin's going to be in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to the left once again. He's going to take the snap, give it to Polk. Polk's going to run up the middle, but he's going to be taken down fairly quickly.
You know, like I was saying before, Ethan Polk's a great run. White County has a bright season ahead of them. They're still a good football team, and they got to keep their heads high. You know, they're playing the #1 team in 4A in the state. So,
you know, it's a tough matchup. You play Upperman, you're going to have a difficult time. It doesn't matter who you are. Pearl Cohen had a hard time with him, and Pearl Cohen was out there beating up on private schools last year. So you're always going to get a challenge. Chaffin's got 2 out to his left. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to Polk. Polk's going to find a lane. Polk is going to get close, and he's in for his 3rd touchdown of the night, his 2nd on the ground, and Upperman extends their lead to 41-0. And this, for a region matchup, this is getting ugly. Really, really ugly.
41 with the potential to get to 42-0. Not what any of us expected tonight.
Not at all.
You know, Caleb, when you predicted the pregame score, did you say 28-21 or 21-14?
I believe I said 35-28.
You did.
Interesting score here. DeKalb County up 28-14 against Gordonsville. That is a major win if DeKalb County can keep that up, because Gordonsville is the #2 ranked team in 2A. So that is, even though that's a big classification difference, that's a major win. It's a major win.
You know, back to what I was going to say about our score predictions at the beginning of the game. Upperman has scored, I would say, about as much combined points as we were going to see from both teams in our predictions, but they're scoring it all by themselves. And White County has 0, but Upperman has just dominated this game. And I don't know if we're going to see the defensive second team out here. I would say maybe one more drive. Maybe we'll see what happens.
I think it really all depends on how White County decides to play their starters or not, because last week Coach Kane waited until one drive until Livingston put their backups out to put his backups in. But if you look at Upperman's offense this year, I believe they're averaging 42 points per game. And even though they had to play Macon County, they still scored 35 in that one. Roberts' kick is up. It is going to that 20-yard line. It's caught at the 30 this time by Sims. Sims is going to get wrapped up by a bunch of defenders, mainly Theo Brown and company. I believe that was Jude Fitzpatrick really getting behind him. That's going to be first down for the Warriors, but I don't think they're going to get a playoff before the fourth quarter.
The Warriors begin first and 10.
This running clock is really killing White County right now. I mean, it's going by so fast. That was probably the fastest quarter I think I've ever been a part of. I mean,
at the 35-yard line.
Really, really fast.
I mean, that's what happens when it's 42-0 with just.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
So dominant for Upperman. I mean, I stumble on my words so much because there's no other way to put it other than Upperman's just they're that good. Beginning of the season, you could argue teams weren't ready for it, but when you get halfway through the season, when you play teams like Macon County, like Sparta, and they beat them and they blow out teams like Sparta, it's hard to not say they're just that good.
I mean, obviously we're rooting for Upperman. We go to Upperman, but I truly believe they are the best team in 4A in the state. I mean, I know it can sound biased and all that, but they are. I really believe they are.
To be fair, in my opinion, I think the only team this year that's going to put up a fight against this Upperman team, outside of Macon County, obviously, when that playoff matchup comes up, because I guarantee it will, is Anderson County. Anderson County is undefeated outside of a game that was canceled, so marked as a tie. So as long as Upperman goes undefeated, they're going to have all 4 rounds of the playoffs before the state championship game in Baxter, so that will help. But Anderson County's beating up on some good teams.
Anderson County is a really, really good team. Macon County is a really, really good team, and I'm looking forward to see if Upperman and Macon County play each other, because that's going to be a blockbuster matchup.
That, and there's always Greenville, too, who did have to forfeit one of their games. Pinion's going to have 5 wide as he sends his running back outside. He's going to have 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Have a motion man. He's going to cut inside. Pinion drop back into throw. He pump fakes. He's running outside. He's got men chasing him, but he is too fast, and he's going to walk out of bounds after a gain of 6. That's going to bring up second down for the Warriors. And there's a B on the field. It looks like it's Zach Maynard.
Official timeout on the field.
You know, you don't want to see a starter for the Bees get hurt right here.
But from what I can see, it's a cramp. He's got players stretching him out, so I'm assuming the man's going to be okay. Cramping is an issue in September football. We did mention earlier it was hot and it was sticky outside today. The second summer has hit. It's been unfortunate, but it's slowly cooling off, especially at night.
Man, I want to hear another performance from White County's band. They are spectacular.
Honestly, I really do too. And their song selection, very, very awesome. Played a lot of fun. Personal favorite, especially from that early 2010s era, AKA what I grew up on.
Second game in a row. Upperman has a blow.
And it looks like Maynard is finishing up his stretches, as we should be getting back into action here soon.
Looked like he's walking off pretty good, and I don't know if he'll play for the rest of the night again tonight, but we'll see.
There's a good chance. You never know with Adam Kane. I mean, he loves watching his players play, but got to keep them healthy. Now, another topic. Outside of Macon County, Upperman has blown everyone out, and this is their second game in a row of beating a team by 40 or more points and keeping them scoreless.
Right, and last week was probably expected for a
Livingston,
blowout.
it is.
This was not expected.
No, most people, I believe, were expecting at most a 21-point game, but either way, they still wanted a shootout. Pinion's going to be by himself in the backfield, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to be dropping back to throw. He's going to be throwing it down the field. It's going to be caught, but it's going to be stolen by Elijah Fitz. Elijah Fitz still going. He's got some blocks, and he's going to be taken down at about the 45-yard line. There are flags being thrown on the field. But what an interception there from Elijah Fitz, stealing it out of the hands of the defender, like literally taking it right out of his hands.
You know, what a rob. I mean, it looked like a catch to me. Did it look like a catch to you?
I'm pretty sure it was a catch. And Elijah Fitz said, no, I will be taking this, and I will be going home tonight with an interception on the stat sheet.
3 interceptions for number 3 tonight. Trip Pinion, rough night. Got to keep his head high, though. He's one of the best quarterbacks in 4A, if not the best.
He really is. I'm going to say that he's not the best, even though that's going to get me some backlash from the White County community, because I'm going to I'm going to have to say, come on, Bronson Chaffin tonight. Obviously, yes, the talent around him is obviously better, but if you look at the way Chaffin marched his way into the state championship game last year, you can't not give him that credit. He's got one of the best deep balls in the state. He can run it right into you. See, Tripp, he goes for more of the left-right motions. Chaffin's not afraid to run right into you by any means, and it's what makes him so dangerous. He's got a bigger frame, he's got a stronger frame, and he's able to do a lot more. That penalty, of course, is going to be a personal foul on the Warriors, so Upperman's actually going to get this ball at about the 40-yard line of White County's territory. This could go up to a 7-score game. Either way, though, it seems like the White County fans are happy on their homecoming night. Their fans are cheering. They're still supporting their boys. But I'm quite sure if you're an Upperman fan, you're having a lot better of a time.
Yeah. I would say so.
It's going to be first down and 10 somewhere on the field for the Bees. And they have a chance to use this last 9 minutes of the football game to score another touchdown if they wanted to. They definitely don't need to, but with it being a division rival, I'm sure they wouldn't mind. Especially with Max Preps and those state rankings watching, even though they won, I believe, what, 42-0 last week or 48-0, they dropped.
Interesting. I don't know a team that's ever been that dominant in a win and
Dropping out, I'm not
dropping.
Sure. Chaffin's going to have one receiver out to his left, one to his right. Ethan Polk's going to be on his left hip. He's going to let this clock run, though. Still 15 seconds of play clock. Going to be a motion man. Going to be Carmine Phillips running out to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Polk. Polk's going to find a crease. Polk's going to find an opening. He's got some blocks. Polk might get in again, and he's going to be tripped up inside of the 10-yard line. Ethan Polk is having an amazing second half as Chaffin is skipping down the field to go meet his buddy.
What a duo for Upperman.
I love that. You know, it's so fun to watch this Bees offense play, especially watch Chaffin. You look at Chaffin on the sideline, he is stone cold killer. Doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything, he just watches his defense play. He gets out on the field, and you just see him, he's frolicking around like a happy little girl on a Sunday evening. Now, he's probably going to kill me for saying that, but I can reap with that. Chaffin in the shotgun, he's got one out to the left, one out to the right, but there is a flag. I believe we're having a delay of game.
Delay of game.
Two delay of game penalties on Upperman tonight. I know they're winning, but Coach Kane cannot be happy about delay of game.
No, I mean, no, you never want to have any penalty, but I almost feel like in this situation, you just got a major first down. It's only a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 12 at the 12. With it being a running clock, this is just less plays that your offense has to make.
This White County band has given us a great performance tonight.
I feel like I've been at a concert the whole night, at an orchestra almost, but it's been songs I've enjoyed. Chaffin's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Polk. Polk's going to hit into a wall, and he's going to get no gain there. And it's going to bring up second down and 7, I believe, for the Bees.
Second down, Bees.
Really great performance here tonight. I believe I already have my player of the game in mind, although I kind of have some wild card decisions there that I'm going to bring up to you after the game that I think you'll find enjoyable. Carmine Phillips checking in for Branson Turnbow, going to bring the play out to Chaffin. That's one of the best things that you see with the Upperman offenses. Coach Kane keeps his quarterback fresher than anyone else in the state because he has his receivers and other skill positions bring Chaffin the play. It's going to be a timeout there for Upperman. They don't want another delay a game.
Timeout on the field for Upperman.
But it really does help keep their quarterback refreshed. And if your quarterback's refreshed, your offense is clicking.
Sponsored by CNA Trucking.
Just 5 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this game. It's going to be second down and 7 with the ball on the 12-yard line for Upperman. It's been a very fast game. It's been an extremely fast second half. It's been an amazing game for the Bees as they have looked like the powerhouse they're poised to be on paper. And I feel like the one thing I can say for the Bees is they've done an amazing job transitioning from that state championship runner-up team into what they have now. They didn't lose a whole lot, but they lost some big pieces, but they've recovered really nicely.
Yeah, they've looked really, really good tonight. You
We'd
know,
like to thank our scoreboard
I don't think
sponsors,
they've
Ben
got any
Holland
sacks
Connect,
on Trip tonight, but their
Jason
defensive
Lewis
line has
Automotive,
pressured them
Donovan,
some and caused them to make some questionable decisions that have caused turnovers, interceptions, fumbles, stuff like that.
We have
Oh, my.
another flag on the play. Wonder if we're going to get another delay of game here for the Bees. Based off of some of the reactions I'm seeing, we might be.
It is a flag on the field.
And it's going to be another penalty on
Unsportsmanlike
Upperman.
conduct against Upperman.
Unsportsmanlike conduct there. Not sure what that's about, but not what you want to see if you're Coach Kane, because now your offense is getting pushed back far. Now it's going to be second down, but you're at the 27-yard line, and you can't get another first down before you score a touchdown.
Right, but you know, scoring a touchdown would kind of be a cherry on top, you know, just to make it rub it in even more. But you know, you can't really go wrong here for Upperman.
But you really can't. I mean, at this point, it's more about showing dominance than anything. Earlier, I said Upperman was trying to put their foot on the neck of the Warriors. I think they've already stepped on it, and I think it's been stepped on for a while. Still discussion there with some refs, but it looks like the play will be underway. Chaffin's going to have one out to each side, Carmine Phillips and Theo Brown. Carmine Phillips is going to be the motion man. He's going to get the ball. He's going to hit the outside edge. He's got some blockers, and Carmine Phillips is going to score the touchdown. Does that count for passing? I'm not sure if that one's going to count for passing, but either way, another touchdown tonight for Upperman. It is now 48-0 with 5:20 to go.
Like I've said all game, White County has not been able to contain that outside, and the Bees have been so dangerous when they hit that gap on the outside. White County cannot control it.
It's been astounding watching this Bees team play because they're playing a lot differently than you would have expected. They're playing differently than they have in weeks past. They're kind of changing from attacking the middle of the field to attacking the outside. And the kick is going to be up, and it's a missile, but it is good.
Extra point is
If
good.
that hit a window, it would have shattered it. And it is now 49-0 for the Bees. If this score stands, it's their biggest
We'd
win
like
of the
to
year.
thank KFC for catering the press box.
Wow, Carmine
Once again,
Phillips has had a
mention our
night running the ball,
primary
and
game
I'm
sponsor
not sure
tonight,
that counts as a
Brady
reception, but he is very electric when he gets the ball, and he cut that gap very fast. No one can catch him.
That is his second touchdown, the first one being on the end around that I don't think anyone across the state really would have predicted. But the difference between that one and this one is Chaffin's arms were extended forward. I don't know if he got the little pop-up on it or not, so that could potentially be a second rushing touchdown for Carmine Phillips, but I wouldn't be the most surprised if it was Bronson Chaffin's fourth passing touchdown. Either way, I think we're going to see the name Bronson Chaffin up for Tennessee Player of the Week again, except this time there's not going to be any Trip Pinion to compete with him for it.
Do you think Trip Pinion you think we'll see him again or not?
That's a great question, honestly. There's 5 minutes and 20 seconds, so I mean, there's always the chance that White County keeps him out for pride, but if I'm White County's coach, at this point I'm saying, look, we're not going to win this game. I need to keep my best player healthy. I'm going to sit him. That's my personal opinion. I'm not a football coach. I just watch it for a living, so we'll have to see. Austin Roberts going to be off the kick. 3 men equally in the back for this time for White County. Roberts is going to squib kick it. It's going to be picked up at the 20-yard line by Richmond, I believe, and he's going to get taken down by Theo Brown and Carmine Phillips at about the 33-yard line. But there's another flag on the play. We're starting to see a whole lot of laundry.
It does look like Trip Pinion, the quarterback for Sparta, is making his way on the field, so looks like he will continue to play.
See what this flag's about. And of course, if Coach Kane sees Trip Pinion walk onto the field, I think we're going to be seeing most of Upperman's first-team defense walk on the field.
I would say so. You know, it's going to feel even better if you shut out White County.
And it actually looks like Upperman's second-team defense is out there. But that is going to be an unnecessary roughness call on the Bees' special teams. So now White County is going to start with the ball at the 48-yard line against Upperman's second-team defense. Pinion getting ready to receive the snap. 2 out to his left. He's going to hand it off to Sims, and Sims is going to get a decent 3-yard gain before getting taken down by the Bees defense. So we are seeing the Bees second team out there. But how much of a difference do you think that's going to make?
A gain of 2 on the play.
You know,
second down, Warriors.
I think it's going to make a decent difference. I think these are some of the more experienced players who have not played as much and, you know, obviously probably are not as good as our first-team offense. But I still think this Coach Kane's culture is instilled in them, and I still think they're going to play hard and aggressive because, you know, they're going to enjoy every snap they get this year.
Hand off to Cole Sims there is only going to go for a few. Not going to quite get the first down, but he is going to get a great gain. It has been a onslaught of Upperman touchdowns tonight, and it has been a handful of turnovers from the Warriors offense. But now they're facing a 3rd and 3. If they pick this up, then, you know, they could ride it to the end. But if they do not pick it up, I'd say just punt this ball. Pinion's got 2 out to his left. He's going to take the snap. Hand off to Cole Sims. Cole Sims is going to get hit. He lunges forward. Did he get the first down, though?
In my opinion, it's interesting why they're keeping Tripp if they're just going to hand it off, you know.
There's a level of security with your quarterback, you know, even though it's just a hand off the ball, it's about having sure hands. They are going to mark that for a 4th down, and it looks like they are going to keep the offense out there for their 3rd, 4th, and 1 of the night. As much as I don't agree with the decision, again, pride plays a major factor in football. Looks like just in case, Upperman's going to keep one man way deep back there. It's going to be number 10, Cody Lowe. But it looks like we are going to have a delay. Nope, not a delay game. We're going to get a timeout here from Sparta with just 2 minutes left in this game. So I guess let's go ahead and start talking about our impact players of the day. What I was going to mention to you earlier that I said I want to talk about, for once we get to player of the game picks, Upperman's secondary as a unit is going to be on my list for sure, because that is 3 interceptions by 3 different players, multiple pass breakups, and just all around impressive athleticism.
Right, and yeah, I would agree. The tip-up was a great play. I mean, Branson Turnbro, I don't believe he got an interception, but him getting in the way of...
He did.
He got an interception?
Off the screen pass.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Carmine Phillips got the tip that led to Theo Brown's interception, and then Elijah Fitz decided to play thief with the ball on one of the passes.
For some reason, I thought... Yeah, I know you're right, but for some reason I thought that Theo got 2, but you're 100% correct. Now I remember. Branson made a great play on the screen pass. But he also made a great play on that deflection earlier, which would have been a 1st down for White County.
It's going to be a keeper for Trip Pinion. Trip Pinion's going to find a hole. That's his biggest play of the night, I believe. He's going to make a man miss, and Trip Pinion is going to get pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And that is his biggest play of the night, and I believe that's White County's biggest play of the night, too.
That's enough for a Warrior. 1st down and 10.
Clock is still ticking, though. There's 30 seconds left on the play clock and 1:30 left on the game clock. will Sparta get a touchdown here is the question. First and 10 at the 21-yard line for the Warriors. Pinion's gonna have Cole Sims to his right hip, 2 receivers out to the left. He's gonna take it, it's a high snap, he's gonna hand it off to Sims. Sims is gonna find a hole. Sims is gonna make some men miss, and he's gonna get tackled just before scoring. And it seems like White County has finally found some legs on offense. It just is unfortunately against the Bees' second team defense.
Too little, too late. This clock is running. We're under a minute right now, but maybe White County will get the scoring.
Pinion's going to hand the ball off to Sims. Sims is going to make some men miss, and Sims is going to walk into the end zone. It'll be a touchdown for White County. But as you said, too little, too late. And poppers are flying, fireworks are going off. They are excited.
This is as loud as it was at the beginning. This is as loud as it's been since the beginning of the football game, for understandable reasons. But these fans are very passionate, and you got to give them credit.
You really do.
They love their team.
They really do. I mean, it's high school football. These are still kids. These are still their friends. Kick is going to be up. The kick is going to be good. It is going to be 49-7 with 42 seconds remaining in this football game as we are reaching the end. And Upperman is reaching their 5th straight win, and let me see. I think we're getting close to 20 straight regular season wins for Adam Kane. They have not lost a regular season game since week 4 of the 2022-23 season against Stone Memorial in Crossville. So they've done a lot of winning recently.
It's been a winning culture the past couple of years. And Bronson Chaffin, does he have a loss as a starter other than the state championship game?
No, he does not. No,
wow.
He is. If I'm not going to include playoffs here, he's going to be 15-0 as a starter, and he started as a sophomore.
Unbelievable.
It really is. The funny thing is, Chaffin, going into last summer, he was not guaranteed that starting job despite his stature and talent, as Upperman's coaching staff was still considering going with Jalir Cullum or Jonathan Rushing, but due to some injuries, Chaffin was just kind of given that starting spot, and boy, did he impress. He did nothing but deliver last year.
Kickoffs sponsored tonight by Drinks Restaurant.
Probably the last kickoff we're going to see tonight. Elijah Fitz and Carmine Phillips are going to be back to receive for the first time since this game started. White County is going to kick it short, but it's going to have a good bounce. Branson Turnbow is going to take a knee. And
that will probably be the game.
That's probably going to be the game. They might need to run one more play before. Play clock's not as long in high school as it is for college and NFL. But, wow, I mean, really impressive tonight, offensively and defensively. I believe they are going to call that the end of the game. So with that, Upperman will improve to 5-0 for the 2nd straight year. White County will fall to 3-2 with a final score of 49-7 for the Upperman Bees.
Unbelievable performance here for the Bees, Just reflecting on it, White County could have been in this game, limit the turnovers, but I still think Upperman would have ended up winning this game, even if you take out the turnovers. They were just they were dominant in everything they did. Defense, offense, special teams. Absolutely controlled the game. Great win for Upperman.
The Warriors
Absolutely.
return to Warrior
If
Stadium
it wasn't for those 2 major interceptions, I think this game definitely could have been 21-35 maybe for Upperman.
We hope to see you here.
Clock is going to be a lot different with that one, but either way, it's a really big win for Upperman here against a division rival that was projected to keep it a lot closer than this. Now, player of the game, here's my 2 theories. We give it to the obvious option, Bronson Chaffin, who had 4 passing touchdowns, maybe 3 passing touchdowns, depending on how that last one's going to get called. And then I believe he had 1 on the ground himself. I'm not entirely positive on that. Either way, it's an amazing performance for him, almost perfect through the air. Or we give it to that Upperman secondary, who had multiple pass breakups, multiple interceptions, almost had 2 pick sixes. I think it's honestly, it's kind of tougher than you'd think.
It's tough. Whenever a team wins, you want to credit the quarterback. I obviously want to credit the Upperman secondary here, but
I feel we got to give it to the bell
I feel
cow.
like I agree.
So I believe my player of the game choice is going to end up being quarterback Bronson Chaffin. I mean, excellent performance, almost perfect game from him tonight. So many touchdowns.
I would agree. Pretty flawless. His throws were always on target. Even the back foot was right into Polk's lap. Just
right into it.
great performance. I think Ethan Polk can also not go unmentioned. I mean,
No, hurdling a man, making men miss, pulling people forward. 2 or 3 touchdowns on the night from Polk. Another great performance from the running back. So, to wrap it up, Upperman was unstoppable. White County was kicking themselves in the butt a lot tonight. But in the end, Upperman is improving to 5-0. Next week, they have Cumberland County at home. It's probably going to be another score similar to this.
yeah, I agree. I was really impressed how Upperman handled it outside the numbers, getting to the outside, getting some screens and smokes. It worked well against this White County defense and showed tonight.
With that, this has been the UHS Hive Media Production Team. I'm Caleb McAdam on the call.
And I'm Josiah Nichols.
This has been Upperman Football, and this has been Friday Night Lights. We will see you guys next Friday in Baxter.